Okay. Professor McArthur,
Professor Lopez.
what motivated you to become a university professor?
Basically, the combination of actually quite like teaching, but wanted to do my own research, really wanted to follow through on some ideas that I had at the time, and somebody offered me a job that allowed me to do that. And that's, I think, really the key point of the combination of things coming together at the time and choosing to go down that path. Staying on to be a professor is the hard bit. It's the not getting that first job, it's actually keeping it, not being fired perhaps, that's the hard part. Yeah.
So your research and is very close between basic research and application oriented, so translational science. How do you motivate the students to become trained in innovation aspects? Because they are mainly focusing, doing their research, doing their experiments to proceed their PhD.
And they're being told all the time that they have to write papers
Exactly.
and things like that. I try and choose students who I already know have an interest in using their knowledge in a different way and translating it. And I think actually naturally, because we work at that interface between the clinic and engineering and science, I think there's a natural tendency to want to see it go into the next stage. So I tend to have some students who are doing really fundamental things, and then I have others who are way ahead of anything I can imagine and are constantly going, so how are we going to put that in clinic? Okay, how do we do this? And that's the balance, yeah.
It seems to me that our profession has evolved a little bit, where now professors are becoming more and more involved in translation and startups. And this seems to me to be rubbing off on the students, and it seems like they are actually becoming very excited about the possibility of doing this. Do you find that there's more students that are interested in this type of translational activity?
I think there's a lot more awareness in the student population that there aren't a lot of academic jobs. That's a driver. But I think also people are coming into PhDs with a much broader sense of why they want to do a PhD. And they understand that for a long-term job, they need to either create their own job by creating their own business, or they need to go into industry and have the skills then to create new products in industry. So to be entrepreneurial within that business and move that business forward to create a longer term job. And I think we're also seeing, at least in our centre, students who probably wouldn't traditionally have done a PhD because they didn't view themselves as nerds, coming in, and so we're teaching people who are entrepreneurial how to do research as well. So that sort of comes together, and it's another way of thinking about it. Naturally entrepreneurial people learning how to do some research as well.
So in addition to the most common scientific skill programs that we have at the university, you are very well known to offer also training for translational aspects. Can you describe them a little bit? And
yeah, the key thing for us is to create experiences. You can learn as much as you like in a classroom, but until you're actually trying to do it, it doesn't mean anything. And you only learn the intricacies when you're actually trying to write a patent. Learning everything you can about patents doesn't really get you there. There's lots of experts out there who can help you, but until you're doing it. So our strength, I think, is in actually creating the entrepreneurial experience for the student. And there's lots of ways of doing it, but the way we've done it in Australia, at Swinburne at least, is to give the students the opportunity to identify at the start. So they build their own projects based on an end user need that they have identified and they have brought back to the industry partner and the academics to discuss and develop further into their project. It's not my project that they're doing, it's their project that they're allowing me to help them with. Which is quite a different way of thinking about it, so they're really owning it, yeah. That do?
Thanks a lot.
Good. Thanks. Hand waving.